Five, four, three, two, one. Great evening, everybody. Looking for my phone here so I can share this broadcast out. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Dr. White here, and I'm excited. This is my first year of the new year, and I have an amazing guest here tonight. But I just want to go over a couple of small commercial breaks while I still, and Gina, before we introduce you, make sure you share this broadcast out if you're able. I know you're I'm gonna have to put my volume down, and I'm going to get this shared out. We got some folks already chiming in. I know we're going to get our mastermind members in the building.
Absolutely.
So I'm just sharing this out. Hey everybody, share it. We're going to get real nice. Happy New Year. First show of the new year. Give us some likes, give us some hearts. Let me just get this out to some groups here. I just love you all. We are chopping it up here just a moment. Look, they coming in. See, as I'm sharing it, the numbers are going up, sis.
Okay.
Group. Okay. Where's my DMV, that other group? All right. I'm going to chill for a minute. I'll share when we. So listen, it's been, I want to thank everybody for joining. Dr. Larry White Sr. is here. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Happy New Year. You know, yesterday was rough, but we are blessed to see another day in African Americans. This is no stranger to be having things happen, and we just persevere. So we're not going to give any shout out to what happened yesterday. It was a tragedy. It was despicable what happened here in the Washington, D.C. area, but we're not going to focus on that. Continue to share, continue to like. All right, before we bring on our VIP guests, I just want you all to continue to support this book, When Men Lean In, We All Win. It's my newest compilation, bestseller. Go get it, go get it. This is my first book I wrote during the pandemic, Operating in Excellence. We all need that right now with that pain, purpose, and position. So, we have come to a point where it's been 1 year since we've been on the show. And at this point, I would like to introduce our special VIP guest. I just met her. She's amazing. She's, down in Alabama by way of Indiana. She got a lot going on. Gina Goree Hitchens, welcome to the Dr. Larry White Sr. Talk Show. Great evening to you, sister.
Thank you, Dr. Larry, and welcome. And so glad for the invitation. It's wonderful to be here.
Hey, absolutely. Look, we got some folks, couple of comments. Lisa Harwell, how you doing, sister?
Okay. I know Lisa.
Harwell. Oh, wow. Vanessa Mims, Michelle Holland, Aisha Brayboy, State's Attorney for Prince George's County. Listen, let's get right to it. Gina, we've talked offline. You have an amazing spirit. For those who may not know exactly who you are, tell us a little bit about who you are personally and professionally.
Okay, I am Gina Hitchens, as Dr. Larry say. I currently live in Mobile, Alabama, by way of Indianapolis. I say I'm a Detroit girl. I almost feel like I'm military because I lived in so many places, but I'm not. But I guess the nice thing about it, it has afforded me the ability and the privilege to have never met a stranger. And in my line of work, that's a blessing, and I love it. I've been here now for 2 years, and life is good. Life is good.
Well, listen.
And,
I'm sorry.
No. So you was asking from a professional standpoint. I am a business owner. I'm owner of GHG Financial Planning, full service insurance, investment, and financial planning firm. And I guess my entire purpose and passion is to help business and professional women and small business entrepreneurs. And I guess it would pretty much be a given because I'm right in all those demographics. I know our unique challenges we face. And like I said, there's problems and I have solutions. So that's who I am, Gina Hitchens.
Well, Gina, I got to tell you, I just posted in our group yesterday. As a business owner or a leader, I consider us, especially masterminds, we're problem solvers. You know, there's some people that are no longer with us and they would state the problem. That's cool, but come on, what's the solution? People could talk all day, hey, I got this issue going on, but what are we going to do? What kind of fixed actions are we going to put in place to come to the solution? So I like what you said about that. And so, you know, I know that you're a problem solver. You're here to help people. And as we go further in the interview, we're going to figure out what it is. And thank you, everybody, for joining the Dr. Larry White Sr. Talk Show tonight. I am here tonight with my sister, my mastermind sister, first show of the year, Gina Gorey Hitchens. She's amazing, you all. She's also a going to be a contributing author in our upcoming book, Iron Sharpens Irons, Volume 2, Inspired to Achieve, Think and Grow. Shout out to Lisa Harwell, who's going to publish that for us. She's watching. So shameless plug for Lisa Harwell. But I want to thank you, Gina, for joining the project. You just jumped right on in, and I really appreciate that. Listen, what have you been up to? The pandemic is coming up on almost a year. I would say it's about 9 months. What have you been doing during the pandemic?
During the pandemic, I have been trying to be a problem solver. I've always am of the mindset that you have your vision, you have your purpose, you have your goal. And when life hits you, you can't change the mission. Only thing you can do is change the strategy and the method of delivery. And prior to the pandemic, a lot of my marketing budget was traveling. I want to have, and I have a national platform with my financial planning and speaking business. And with the quarantine, it just afforded me the ability to sit still. At the beginning of 2020, my word was be ready, #ready. And in the midst of the quarantine and throughout the end of the year, it switched to be still. Be still. And in that stillness, I just went on an inward journey of purpose and reflection. And Dr. Larry, out of that journey, it was amazing. It's just like, it is amazing. So that is what I've learned through 2020. And I've always of the mindset that in the midst of any crisis, there's opportunity. So it's just a matter of leaning in and finding out where the opportunities are. So from that, I developed a major platform with Smart Women Finish Strong, which has been one of my passions that I've been working on since 2003. But to be totally honest, I never sat still long enough to implement it. So you know what? That was birthed out of 2020. So it was just a lot. I'm loving it. And amazing things happened in that quarantine. I met Dr. Larry. I've become a signature entrepreneur, and I have relationships not only in the places I've lived, but throughout the United States and international. So it's all in all, it's good. So
yeah. Well, we can tell you have been busy, and I like what you said, you know, be still, love on your family. I remember it was 6 or 7 of us living here in the house, and we couldn't really go anywhere, and we were just trying to figure it out. And I purposely, I have written 3 books during the pandemic. And while I was staying still, I also knew I needed to figure out a way to give back to the community. And so portions of the proceeds of my business and my books, I've been able to give back and help homeless shelters and disenfranchised families. And I love the fact that that's what our group is about, is really helping other people. It's really good to be successful as business owners, entrepreneurs, masterminds, but to take a portion of that and help out those that are less fortunate. And I can say that this pandemic has brought the good, the bad, and ugly out of a lot of people. And we have, as masterminds, just really, you know, holding our workshops, doing book signings, whether they're virtual or in person. We've been doing the best we can to fuel the economy. I know personally, I've been writing checks to small business owners trying to keep their lights on. So I admire you for that. Now, you touched on your Smart Women Finish Strong.
Yes.
What's your definition of a smart woman?
My definition of a smart woman, I'm glad you asked that, Dr. Larry. And oftentimes when I say that, people would think smart is related to academics. And of course, academics is fine. I'm an educated woman. But in my mind, a smart woman, first of all, she's strategic. She knows pretty much what she wants, who she is. Might not quite know how to get there, but she at least has an idea of what it is she wants. So she's strategic. She is motivated, and she's mature. And I like to say maturity is not a number. Maturity is a mindset. I've met women 50, 60, 70 years old, and they're just as immature. I've met some young sisters, millennials as sharp as tacks, and they're very mature. So she's mature. She's accountable. She takes action. She's resilient. She's resourceful. She's leaned in and taken the time to realize what's in her toolbox, connected with her gifts, her passion, and her resources. And the T is for she's tested. The sister got a testimony. She's tribal, and she's just resilient. So that is my definition of a smart woman. And I say smart women finish strong. And with that finish is from a holistic approach. And it's in terms of money, mindset, health, fitness, spiritual, purpose, passion. So it's just that whole total approach to that finish. And again, in order to finish strong, you have to start strong, stay strong, so you can finish strong.
Absolutely, absolutely. You hear my dog bark, that's because my wife just came in here. Hopefully he will not. You know, you touched on a lot of stuff. And by the way, shout out to Tiffany Parr. She just joined in from California. Jackie Mims. Shout out to the entire Signature Entrepreneurs and Masterminds. Y'all are amazing. You know, you may not be able to count on these people, this person, but you can always count on a mastermind, no matter what the time zone is, to come out and support. Normally, I'm on at 10 a.m. in the morning. You all have been blessed. And Gina is blessing us. She got the call earlier today that I had to reschedule to tonight. And she was flexible, and I just really, really appreciate it. So a few more questions. You know, you talked about a few things. You talked about paid, you know, some purpose in there and position. And I think that's really good that you talk about that. And, you know, I love what you were talking about, you know, your definition of what's a smart woman. And I echo that because I got a lot of women around me, my wife, my two daughters, my granddaughter. So me and my son, we kind of outnumbered around here. But I wanted to just, and you've been using that word, lean in. You know, I wrote a book, When Men Lean In, We All Win. So leaning in with purpose. I like what you say with that one. Let's move on. Let's talk about leadership success. You talked a little bit offline, leadership success to significance. What's that all about? Leadership success to significance.
That's pretty much what you had touched on when you talked about during the pandemic. You've been being charitable and helping others in need, because success is what happens to you. Financial planning and leadership platform, a lot of my clients and the people that I talk to and the conversations that I have, they've lived a pretty successful life, be it if they were business owners, corporate world, mothers, wives, whatever that is. They've pretty much lived a pretty successful life. So now they're at a point in life where they're wanting to transition from that success to significance. Because once you've had a taste of significance, you can't go back. And significance is when you live beyond yourself. Your day is bigger than you. Looking at legacy and purpose. And I am strictly, anybody that knows me knows family's everything, legacy is important, and giving back to the community. And that is my definition of from success to significance.
I love that. I tell people all the time when we interviewed you, Gina, you know, it's really good to be successful, but I love the spirit that gives back to the community. And even further, like, you know, you're by way of Detroit, and shout out to Eric A. Lomax, who's in the group, and Leah, Detroit folks. And I'm from Indiana. So for the past 3-4 years, I've been going back to my hometown, holding leadership workshops, entrepreneurial workshops. As you know, where we're from, the steel mill and the car industry, you know, were big, you know, General Motors and the steel mills. And so that's what people did. They left Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and they matriculated up towards the Midwest to get those good jobs in the steel mill and also, you know, General Motors. And so that just wasn't my thing. But when I realized I had entrepreneurial skills and I could display them around the world, I'm now able to go back to my hometown and hold those entrepreneurial workshops and book signings and teach those folks in disenfranchised areas that you can be successful no matter where you may grow up, You know, I was talking to you earlier someone today about Michael Jackson being from my hometown. Who would have thought from a little old steel mill town that the greatest entertainer in the world would come out of little old Gary, Indiana? So that's my hometown, and it's good to, and I encourage everybody, if you're doing well and you moved out of to the suburbs and you moved, go back to your hometown, visit them, and encourage them to empower their school systems, their business owners, you know, their small businesses, so they can thrive and have the success. This is going really, really good. Gina, I appreciate it. You also offline talked about prepare to pivot with a plan. Talk to us a little bit about prepare to pivot with a plan.
Again, most of my leadership training that I do is with business and professional women. And again, they are typically at a point in life where they are in a state of transition, even if it's just a mindset transition. They've had, again, successful lives being mothers, wives, taking care of parents, and very gainfully employed corporate America, business. So now they're at a point where they are wanting to, again, go from that success to significance. They're in corporate America. It's like, you know what? This is pretty old. And they're looking for that exit strategy. But the one thing about that exit strategy that they're fearful of is they sort of gotten used to that paycheck every 2 weeks. I had a client of mine said that big fat paycheck is like crack every 2 weeks. So if they take that leap, they need to make sure their resources are in order. So again, with my coaching and my financial planning and leadership trainings, I help them to prepare to pivot with a plan. If it's a financial plan in terms of how they can position their financial resources so they can continually get a paycheck for life. If it's they're looking to come out and connect with their purpose and passion, and they don't really even know what it is they're wanting to do, my leadership helps with that. So again, from the holistic approach, with my financial planning and coaching practice, I help you prepare to pivot with a plan, and we can create that plan.
Absolutely.
And I love it. And my clients is very well received.
Well, look, I can't wait to, I got to talk with Jackie tomorrow, and shout out to Jackie and all our mastermind members and Tiffany Para and Lisa Harwell, just all of you all just matriculating in. Give us likes, give us hearts, share the broadcast out. Before we get you out of here, I got a couple of more questions for you. Mm-hmm. If someone was struggling prior to the pandemic, then they definitely was struggling during the pandemic, what encouraging advice would you give them to keep moving forward, to persevere, to follow their dreams?
I would say to don't go it alone. I am a big advocate of a circle. You need to connect with someone who can encourage, motivate, and inspire you. Because if you, particularly in the pandemic, people are in isolation. And sometimes, not sometimes, but quite often I think about that, because during this pandemic, I am pretty much thriving. I'm a people person. I can talk to people, so that's easy for me. But I do realize that not everyone has that same lifestyle. So I just encourage you to stay inspired. And I encourage people such as ourselves who are maneuvering and pivoting quite well, just to always be mindful of others, that we are, and not everyone is in our position. So I just encourage them to keep the faith, never lose sight of your purpose and your dreams. And as always, this too shall pass. But the main thing is just to, again, I didn't even make that connection to you said a minute ago, Dr. Larry, lean in and don't just have somebody to talk to. That's very important, just to have those conversations. I always say, particularly with my women, amazing things happen when you surround yourself with a circle of smart women. So Amen. Don't be afraid to lean in.
Women rule the world. You know,
absolutely.
You've mentioned it, so I have to talk about it. I wrote this book with 13 amazing men. When men lean in, we all win. Oftentimes, the African American male has been you know, the problem in the household, and we wanted to change the narrative on how Black men are viewed. And, you know, I'm a proud Black man today. You didn't see one African American male out there clowning yesterday, really. But you saw a bunch of white guys out there, not many arrests. And we just know that the story today in the paper would have been a bloodbath of a lot of murders if a bunch of brothers, brown and Black, would have stormed the U.S. Capitol. But it was time for us as Black men to lean in. Shout out to Mr. McCarter and Deion Banks and R. Wesley Webb and Vince Leggett, you know, Chef Kendall, you know, just a bunch of brothers that wrote this book with me, Andre James. Most of those brothers, less than Chef, are mastermind members, and you've met them virtually, but you're going to see them when we're able to travel. But we wanted to lean in, and I've been noticing you say that, and I'm like, hashtag, that's our hashtag, men lean in, you know. You may have heard that somewhere before. But I remember sitting here in this house wondering what I can do after the George Floyd murder. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Everybody knows what happened. They leaned on his neck. They murdered him in broad daylight in Minnesota. And I just needed to do something. You know, I you know, give my money to the church or write a book, and hopefully this book would be in the library and also in different households where our little Black boys and Black girls could read it. And just shout out to Sheila Gibson, who bought 10 books to gift to her brothers, you know. And so it's a good read. And I like how you just have kept mentioning it over and over, lean in, because that's what we all need to do. 2 more questions.
You know, one thing I'd like to add to that, though, Dr. Larry, I kept hearing the conversations, and I did purchase the books, the last book project that you came out with. But what I would love to see is some conversations with men and women, like he said, she said. That week, I had a presentation in Indianapolis, and it was like barbershop. It was a women's empowerment, but it was one panel, and it was titled The Barbershop. And the man was talking about the lessons and the struggles and just the dynamics between the men and the women. Because again, as a woman, my platform is women, and just how in the Black community particularly, we really have to have that communication because we can be stronger together. So if the men lean in and the women lean in and we're having those conversations, the hard conversations, then amazing things can happen, as you'd always say. Just imagine, seriously.
Hey, listen, I'm liking it. I wanted to work on the men a little bit more because the women are doing a lot of great things together. Yeah, right. You know, you look at Women's Day at the church, packed. Women's retreat, packed. Men, we can barely get 5 guys to show up, right? So give me a little time. Let me get it's tough, you know, to get men engaged. I don't know. We're really compartmentalized, you know, but there's a lot of broken men out there, and sometimes they are afraid to share their story. But we do need to have the conversation. So I did write this book, and it's not just a book, but it's a movement. When men lean in, we all win. You know. As a matter of fact, it's so funny. I think I have it around here somewhere. I just was on a show earlier. Had some Zeus, but I have my mask. When men lean in, we all win. So it's all good. But I like to do the marketing. But let's do it. Let's do the workshop. Let's have the conversation. One more question before I get your contact information. You're a financial expert, so tell us a little bit about the product and services that you offer, the training and leadership that you do from a financial realm.
From a financial standpoint, I have been in the financial planning for 30 plus years. I went independent in 2008 and launched GHG Financial Planning. And I did that because my whole model is built on worksite and community-based financial education and training because I am a teacher by nature. So I went independent so I can serve my clientele and my community in a way that suits both of us. And through that journey, I am a retirement income certified professional. So I really help people retire with added confidence. My primary markets with the financial planning, again, is my business and professional women and small business owners. Because particularly as a small business owner, I am uniquely aware of the challenges that we face when it comes to creating and sustaining long-term financial wealth and security. So I am passionate about that. And then my last market is government employees. I am a trained expert with government benefits, and I can actually go in and log into the payroll system and give you a line by line itemized outlook of what your retirement will look like. So my whole platform is to help you create lifetime increasing guaranteed income. I am the safe money queen.
That is amazing. Wow. Well, look, all that information, we have come to the part of the show where we got to say goodnight. But I would be remiss if we didn't ask you, how can one contact you? Do you have an email that you can provide, a phone number, or even a website so folks can contact you so they can get this great knowledge?
Absolutely. My financial planning website is pretty easy. Everything's pretty much in alignment. My website is ghgfinancialplanning.com. My email address is Gina, Gina, at ghgfinancialplanning.com. And my phone number is 251-300-8230.
Absolutely.
So I'm very passionate about creating wealth in our community. One brother, one sister.
Give that phone number one more time. Give that phone number one more time.
Okay, yes. It's 251-300-8230. And that's my office phone number. And I am on the social media channels. I am on Facebook. I am on LinkedIn. And once I got my leadership up, I've got to get on Instagram. I'm pushing up, yes, but I am on Facebook and LinkedIn under the same names. And Gina, I would love to connect.
Absolutely. Gina, I want to thank you so much for joining the show. We start on time, we finish on time. We got on here right at 9 Eastern, and it's 9:28. And I just thank you so much for dropping so many golden nuggets. We'll have to have you back on the show. And everybody, she is absolutely phenomenal. Just to get in there, I was just reading a little bit just on her Facebook page. Certified speaker, trainer, coach, facilitator on the John Maxwell team, financial planner at GHG. She talked about that financial planning. Studied retirement planning at the American College of Financial Services, studied at Wayne State, studied MBA, Masters in Business at Indiana Wesleyan. I mean, this is the type of person you want to start your new year off with on your show. Shout out to Dr. Paul W. Dyer. I just was going through Facebook Live and I saw one of our sister on another brother's platform, and that's what we need to be doing. If you have a show and you have a platform, holler at your brother, holler at your sister, share the mic and get everybody on there. I know Jackie Mims, her show is coming. I'm looking forward to being on Lisa Harwell's show. She's still hanging in there. And our members are doing some great things. So, Gina, once again, God bless you. Continue to be safe, you and your family. And I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. We got a new president coming in. We won't have to hear from this clown much. He's going to go out the door. But it's been a rough 4 years. 2020, as Gina said at the top of the show, was vision, and it was vision. It wasn't the vision that we thought initially, but there's some good takeaways from here. Gina, you want to have the last word before we close out, my sister?
I just want to say thank you for having me, and I'm enjoying being in the community because it is a community of caring, business, successful people with a heart and a passion for others. Again, it can't be just about us. We have to look outward. So I do thank you for having me, and can't just wait until the world opens back up so we can meet and greet in person, because it's going to be amazing.
You're right about that. Air hugs. We love everybody. We love. Jesus said we have to love everybody. We don't have to break bread, which I tell Jackie that all the time. I got to break bread with some of these people, but I got to love you. So thank you so much once again. Thank you to our listening audience. Y'all be in prayer. Y'all want me to stay on at 9 p.m. or should I go back to 10 a.m.? I will be here next Thursday at 9 p.m. with Eric A. Lomax out of Detroit. So y'all tell me. I like my numbers. We're going to replay on IG and Twitter. So we broadcast live on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. This is really great. So thank you, everyone. Good night, and I'll see you next week. God bless you.